Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, man. This is a response to Mr. Superboy 223, and this is my own thoughts on this situation. 223, as usual, made an excellent video as far as free agency go and Kevin Durant and the whole thing about just black men in general. Now, I'm gonna get to that white bitch, Tommy Loren, when I get back from the gym because I'm gonna fucking ether her and just basically expose her for the fraud that she is. She's a fraud, and anybody with common sense could see that she's a fraud. Now, as far as some of the things that's going on, like we a week removed from the Jesse Williams historical, because I call it historical speech that he delivered. About black empowerment, about uplifting black people, and about how we're perceived, and pretty much the whole shebang. And one of the things that's pissing me off, now this video ain't directed at white people. Now, white people that's listening to this video, I know I have white stuff. This doesn't concern you. I don't even want your opinion. I'm talking to my black brothers and sisters. I don't want your opinion. Don't care about it. Don't want to hear it. Like that old saying goes, it's a black thing you wouldn't understand, and stop trying to act like you understand. Because it take more than watching Roots, Boys in the Hood, and Menace to Society to understand black people. If you ain't born this motherfucking color, you ain't gonna understand this color. I don't give a fuck how much black pussy you fuck, or if you a white woman, I don't care how much black dick you jumping on. You'll never be black. You'll never understand what it's like to be black. But anyway, Superboy made a great point, which I was saying. You know, there are certain images that the media likes to portray when it comes to black men. Especially from the so-called quote unquote hood, because you guys already know it's a plot to demonize and destroy the black man, feminize the black man, eliminate the black man. Basically put the black man into extinction. You know, it's a plot. And they're trying to execute it to the fullest. There's a certain way that they're trying to portray black men. It started earlier this year with Will Smith's son wearing a dress. And the funny part about it is, I actually had niggas that was coming on my channel defending this shit. But all this shit was predicted. If you believe in Willie Lynch and, like I say, Jim Crow, and even the Bible to a certain degree, Revelation, all this stuff was predicted that this was going to happen. To a certain degree. And like I said, there is a plot to destroy the black man. You know, it's been going on for the last couple of 100 years. It started with slavery. Then, after so-called slavery ended, it started with mass incarceration, the welfare system, all that shit to take the black man, you know, out the family structure, make him pretty much irrelevant in the family structure. All this shit has been playing, with the shit, black women getting these executive jobs, being empowered by white men. This is a plan. And I'm not knocking the sisters, so any sisters don't get on here talking about that male chauvinist shit, because that's not what I'm saying. Just listen to this message closely. But like I said, the imagery has been set out, that it's been a certain way they like to portray black men. Look at TV, look everything. And just remember, don't say, well, black men do this to themselves. To a certain degree they do, but not without the help of the white man, and not without the help of people, throwing black people under the bus. Black people throwing each other under the bus, black men throwing black women under the bus, black, et cetera, et cetera. It is what it is, man. I'll give you an example. Like I said, if you look at the narrative, as far as athletes go, or black men, period, you notice they don't like black men who say that their father was their hero and that they had a strong male presence in their life. They don't like those kind of dudes. Have you noticed that? And Superboy was dead on point when he said Stephen Curry talks about his father a lot. And you don't hear people talking about, you don't hear people talking about how much of an influence Dale Curry was on Stephen Curry's life. You know, that's why Stephen Curry is the well-rounded, respectful, young man that he is, because he had a father in his life. People try to make it look like that the black man is not important in the household, whether it be raising daughters, whether it be raising sons. The black father is very important. But people then tried to make it look like that he isn't. That couldn't be no further from the truth. But you got to look at how shit is portrayed on TV. And I know I got a lot of subs, brothers that got children. Don't ever feel that you're not important, that your children don't need you. If you around your children, if your children live with you, always, what I'm saying, look at them and tell them, that you're going to always be there for them. If your children is in another state, call them. You know what I'm saying? My son don't live with me, but I talk to my son every day. You know what I'm saying? He calls me every day. If I don't, if he doesn't call me, I call him. But he calls me. You know what I'm saying? Just to talk to me now. Like I said, I was right there at my son's graduation. And you know how much that meant to him, seeing both his parents at his graduation, knowing that his father was there. Don't ever believe that, particularly young black men don't want their father around, because that's not true. And you look at Jesse Williams, the reason why he a well-rounded brother? Because he had his father in his life. Yes, he has a mother, a white mother at that, but that's besides the point. His dad is his hero. You could tell that he loves his father. I just want to tell y'all, don't fall for the bullshit. Especially you young cats out there that's listening to this video, man. Especially you 19 to, what I'm saying, the 19 to, 32 range. Don't fall for the bullshit, man. Don't listen to this bullshit that you see on TV about how black man is portrayed. Don't listen to that shit don't, what I'm saying? Don't believe that love and hip hop bullshit and these other ghetto ass shows. These ghetto ass movies are how black men are portrayed, because most of them are created by white people. If not, guess who signs the check to finance those movies? Guess who puts those movies out? Guess who owns the movie studios? You know what I'm saying? Everything that brother Jesse Williams said was on point. We got to stop waiting and begging white people for help. And it's time we gotta put our own imagery out. We gotta portray ourselves in the way we need to be portrayed. Not how they see us, but how we see ourselves. And see, that's the motherfucking problem. When you got one group of people that control pretty much all this entertainment shit, of course, they're gonna portray you the way they see you or think you should be seen. So that's why I'm saying, don't listen to these motherfuckers like Larry Elder and those and Juan Williams and those type of dudes. Remember who they work for. Remember why they do it. They do it for a paycheck and because they want to be made to feel important. See, when you a motherfucker like me that don't give a fuck what white people or no other race think about them, they consider you a threat. Ever since I've been on YouTube, man, motherfuckers been trying to get my channel shut down and shit. Calling me a racist and all that bullshit and say, but I'm going to tell you like this. If you think I'm a racist, so be it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I told you, I'll say this once and I'll keep saying it. I'm not never going to apologize for being who I am and being proud of who I am. And another thing with black people, man, we got to stop this fucking light-skinned, dark-skinned shit. We got to cut it out, man, because I was always a victim of that shit. I feel like to a certain degree, I had to go that extra mile to prove my darkness, my dark side, even though I'm light-skinned. I used to have to go out of my way to prove that I was a brother, not a brother. And I'm just as much brother as anybody out there. Because if you want to get technical, most of the motherfucking coons and Uncle Toms be pretty damn dark. You know, I don't want to hear this bullshit about uh, Jesse Williams has a white mother. You know, I don't want to hear this shit about Harry Belafonte. He's supposed to be a black activist, but he fuck with white women. Like I said, Harry Belafonte then did more for black men than a lot of niggas that's married to black women than did for black people. Do your history. Same thing with Stephen Curry. When have you ever saw Stephen Curry put down black people and black men? But like I said, I believe a lot of this hate comes from Stephen Curry being light-skinned. And I will always believe that. But at the same time, Stephen Curry speaks out on what I am a firm believer of. Speaking on your father, manhood. And see, y'all got to remember, they don't want black men to have manhood. They don't want black men to be masculine. That's why they making all these tight ass shirts that look like dresses. Then these niggas walking around, you know, with these skin tight jeans on, thinking they cool as shit, and they look just, and then they talking about they want to be respected. And then for the people that's gonna say, well, white boys do it. Well, you ain't no white boy. Why you worried about what white boys do? That's the motherfucking problem. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of shit. I'm sorry. Anybody that's listening, man, when you be dressing a certain type of way, even to a certain degree wearing pink and shit, man, I'm sorry, man. Those are just colors that's just not masculine colors, man. It's about being a man, on the outside and the inside. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got to understand, the media don't want the media don't want black men to be seen as that. They want you to be seen as, if they don't want you to be seen as, masculine and being responsible and, caring about your people, they either want you to be seen as some violent animal or some, feminine ass, what I'm saying, motherfucker. And I'm sorry, man. I'm I just gotta keep it real, man. Cause that's a problem, man. Motherfuckers not keeping it real these days, man. Like I say, man, I say the shit that people don't want to hear. Well, I say the shit that people need to hear. Y'all gotta understand, man. Don't take the bait, man. Stop believing this bullshit that you see on TV. Like I say, man, if you a father and you got children, do right by your children, man. Especially if you a black man. You know what I'm saying? If you a black man, do right by your children, man. Whether you got sons, whether you got daughters, man, because you still are responsible on how your children develop, whether they be women, whether they be men. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you have daughters, I done met women where they didn't have their father around. And it affects women how they turn out too, especially black women when they don't have a man figure in their life. The father is very important to the household. And y'all need to understand that, man. Like I said, whether you got sons or whether you got daughters, whether you got both. How your children develop is up to you, man. So, you know what I'm saying? And as far as Jesse Williams go, man, like I said, I couldn't be more proud of that brother for speaking out. And I'm glad that he not, you know, selling his soul, man, to be on TV. And I know it's a lot of motherfuckers, a lot of racist ass, hating ass white people and niggas that was trying to get him fired from his job. And I'm glad the sister that's responsible for that show stood up and said he not going nowhere. Unlike how she did Isaiah Washington, you know, and maybe she still reliving how she did him, how she tossed him out on his ass for something that he allegedly said. Nobody heard the dude say it. Basically, one dude said that you said something about him and you fired the dude. So she know better not to make that mistake again. But anyway, man, that's all I got to say, man. I'm out.